I never thought a simple family barbecue at Grandma Louise's ranch in the rolling hills of Montana would blow my world apart. The sun was dipping low over the Rockies, casting that golden glow across the weathered wooden table laden with ribs, corn on the cob, and her famous apple pie. I adjusted my faded denim shirt, the best I had after pulling double shifts at the local diner and helping out at the feed store. My stomach rumbled, but I pushed it aside. Tonight was about celebrating Grandma turning 72. She'd always been my rock, the one who taught me to rope a calf and stand tall against the wind. My brother Cody was holding court as usual, fork waving like a conductor's baton. And then the investor tried to lowball me on that land deal, he boasted. I shut him down quick, told him straight up, "This ain't your daddy's rodeo." Dad chuckled, slapping him on the back. "That's my boy." Sharp as a tack. Mom beamed, her eyes shining with that pride she reserved mostly for him. Cody had dropped out of community college after one semester, but somehow snagged a gig at Dad's buddy's real estate office in Billings, where he talked big about deals he barely grasped. Me? I'd been grinding through online classes at Montana State, juggling jobs to cover tuition since my partial scholarship only went so far. As Grandma sliced the pie, I caught Mom and Dad exchanging one of those loaded glances, the kind that screamed unspoken secrets. It made my skin crawl, like they were in on some inside joke I wasn't part of. "Small slice for me, dear," Grandma said with a wink my way. "Gotta keep this old frame trail ready." I grinned back, her warmth wrapping around me like a well-worn saddle blanket. While my folks' affection always felt like it came with strings, Grandma's was unconditional, like the endless Montana sky. Cody kept yapping through dessert about his latest poker night with Dad's cronies. I poked at my pie, mentally tallying if my last $50 would last till payday. "Riley, hon," Grandma's voice cut through my fog. "Is that $1,500 I wire you monthly still covering your bills? Ranch supplies and tuition keep climbing, and I fret about you out there alone." My coffee mug halted midair. The table went dead quiet, save for the crickets starting up outside. "What money, Grandma?" I asked, my voice sounding hollow. Mom's face turned as pale as fresh snow. Dad suddenly got real interested in the grain of the table. Cody folded his napkin into origami, avoiding my eyes. Grandma frowned, looking between us. "The allowance I've been sending for 3 years now to help with your agribusiness degree and living costs." The pie sat like lead in my gut. "I haven't seen a dime from you, Grandma." Her eyes narrowed as the penny dropped. She reached for my hand. "Rick. Diane, care to explain this rodeo?" Mom cleared her throat. "Mother, maybe we talk this out later. Just us." "No, Grandma snapped, sharp as a cattle prod. "Riley deserves the truth. Right here." Dad shifted like he was on a bucking bronco. "We've been borrowing it temporarily, just till we get steady again." Borrowing? The word tasted like dust. "For how long?" Mom stared at her plate. "The full 3 years. 36 months. $1,500 each." My brain reeled. $54,000. "You've pocketed over 50 grand meant for me?" My voice broke. "Well, I've been busting my ass with 3 jobs, skipping lunches." Last winter flashed back, huddled in my drafty trailer outside Bozeman, munching on expired granola bars from the diner, choosing between vet tech textbooks and new boots for the snow, begging my roommate Sarah for $400 to fix my truck when it conked out mid-semester. "Cody had some bad bets," Mom whispered. "We couldn't let him face the music alone." The world tilted. "Cody." "Always Cody. You've done all right without it," Dad said, waving it off like swatting a fly. "Built some grit, Montana tough." Grit? As if my empty belly was some character-building exercise in their twisted family saga. You've done all right, I echoed, slow and steady, while I ate day-old scraps and pulled all-nighters before finals. Cody needed real help. Mom cut in. His mess was different, dangerous. I thought of my blistered feet from waitressing marathons, the tears from sheer fatigue, the internship I lost when my grades dipped from sleep deprivation. The words built inside me like a gathering storm. Grandma squeezed my hand, her ranch-calloused fingers grounding me. I had no clue.
Child.
None at all. Something cracked open in me. A fault line after years of pressure. I locked eyes with Dad, seeing not the ranch boss of my youth, but a man who'd failed the basics, shielding his kid. I trusted you both, I said, voice firming up. And you chose him over me. Every time. Their wall of excuses started crumbling under that plain truth. Grandma held tight. I squared my shoulders, feeling a spark ignite, not just rage, but a quiet resolve. They'd picked their path. Now, I'd forge mine. The next morning, sunlight poured through Grandma's ranch house windows, painting the knotty pine floors in warm stripes. I sat in her study, cradling a mug of black coffee more for the heat than the buzz. Old photos lined the walls, us kids on horseback at county fairs, family roundups under big skies. They felt like relics from another life now. I never dreamed they'd pull this, Grandma said, pulling a thick folder from her desk. Her silver braid caught the light as she shook her head. But the banks got the proof. She laid out statements. Red marks highlighting transfers going back for years. The total punched me, $120,000. That's gotta be wrong, I whispered. Your inheritance trust, she explained, finger tracing the lines. I set it up when you were born for college or starting your own spread. Your folks were trustees, but it vested to you at 21. I flashed to the scholarship I forfeited last fall. Student loans piling up like hay bales. Nights crashing on Sarah's couch caused my heat got cut. What about Cody's share? Grandma's jaw set. Cody never touched a classroom after high school. Riley. That business talk? Smoke and mirrors. Another sheet. Credit reports with casino charges. Online sports bets. Truck upgrades. This is where your future vanished. Cody's boasts echoed. Skipped that finance class. Too basic for a guy like me. Lies. Slick as oil. Idebut. Amu. Line. And sinker. I've updated my will with the lawyer, Grandma said. And set up direct deposits to you, $2,000 monthly. No me lemon. They'll blow a gasket. My gut twisted. She covered my hand.
Leching.
You've earned your stake. I nodded, steeling myself. This wasn't over. I'd see it through, legal and square. Later, in the guest room, twilight stretched shadows across the quilt. I collapsed on the bed, drained but wired. 5 missed calls from Mom lit my phone. I muted it and rummaged the nightstand for aspirin. A old flip phone tumbled out, Mom's cast off from last Christmas. I powered it on.
No look.
Typical carelessness. Scrolling text. I hit patered, a chain with Dad from last February. Rick? Louise wired Riley's check again. She asked why Riley ain't thanked her. Diane. What did you say? Told her Riley must be forgetful, hinted at Louise's age playing tricks. Good. Let Riley think Louise stiffed her. It'll make her Montana strong.
Exactly.
Cody needs this to climb out of his hole. Riley's the tough one she'll manage. The phone felt like a branding iron. My struggles weren't bad luck. They were orchestrated. They let me scrape by, knowing they pulled the rug. Make her strong. Like my hunger was boot camp for their favoritism. I bolted to the bathroom. Air thick in my lungs. The mirror showed a ghost, hollow cheeks from spotty eats. Dark circles like bruises. Memories crashed in, last winter. Haggling at the bookstore for used books. Picking boots over meals. The burn of asking Sarah for truck cash. Meanwhile, Cody's debts got bailed while I bootstrapped. Tears came, but so did fire, a cleansing anger stripping away illusions. For once, I saw my parents clear-eyed, without kid glasses. Cold water splashed, droplets racing down. A shift settled, before and after, divided forever. That's when I texted Sarah for backup. We talked an hour. Me spilling the beans. They gaslit you into thinking Louise forgot, Sarah fumed. That's low even for them. From the window seat, I watched stars prick the Montana night. It was all planned. Believe it.
Girl.
You deserve better. Grandma knocked with chamomile tea and a legal doc. Attorneys on it. First deposit tomorrow. My phone dinged. Bank alert.
$2,000, Ian.
Not just cash, freedom. After Sarah, I jotted boundaries in a notebook. No more lies.
No shielding harm.
No shame that's not mine. No sacrificing my dreams. I tucked it away, sliding under covers without bill worries. Sleep hit deep, like sinking into fresh hay, the unburdened kind. 3 weeks post-blow-up, I was piecing myself together, burying in studies and ranch chores to stay grounded. Afternoon light filtered through my trailer's tiny window. My agribusiness textbook open on sustainable ranching. My highlighter paused over ethics in family trusts. Irony much? I'd almost normalized having cash for groceries. No more ramen roulette. A knock rattled the door. Odd for a Wednesday. Sarah was at vet clinic till 5. Study buddies met Fridays. Opening up. My heart sank. Mom and Dad filled the frame, blocking the dusty driveway like a roadblock. Mom gripped her handbag tight. Dad flashed his salesman grin. The one that sold cattle futures but hid rot.
Surprise.
Darlin', Mom chirped. Too perky. We were passin' through. They'd never passed through Bozeman in my 3 years here. Not once. Can we come in? Dad didn't wait, barging into my cramped space. It shrank like a noose. Mom sat on my rumpled bed. Dad poked my desk, lifting my calculator like appraising livestock. I straightened. No more shrinking violet. What do you want? Blunt. And it felt good. They swapped that secret look. We're worried about your grandma, Dad started, setting the calculator down precise. She's making some questionable calls lately. Louise ain't been right, Mom added, patting the bed like luring a skittish foal. Doc mentioned cognitive slips last checkup.
Bite-faced lie.
Grandma Louise, who balanced ranch books blindfolded and outrode men half her age, sharp as ever. This family splits crush in her, Mom went on, dabbing dry eyes. Blood's thicker than water, especially out here. What's the real play? I stayed standing, arms crossed.
Dad dropped the act.
She's rewritten her will, cut us clean out. And Cody, Mom rushed. He's in deep with bookies. Rough types threaten in him. Riley. Same old song. Cody's crises trump mine. Sun warmed my back as I sized them up, really saw him. We need you to talk sense into her, Dad commanded. Convince her to rethink. You owe us. After all we've done raising you, Mom piled on. I barked a laugh.
Done?
Like stealin' 54 grand Louise sent for my shulin'? Borrowed, Dad growled, jaw clenching. Family pitches in. I know Cody's jam, I fired back, voice rising. While you borrowed, I juggled jobs. Wanna see? I thrust out my hands, rough, scarred from diner burns and feed bales. Skipped meals for books. Wore holey jeans 3 winters. Lost an internship 'cause I nodded off in interviews after graveyard shifts. Mom blanched. Good. Let her witness the wreckage. Your brother needed. I needed folks. I snatched Mom's old phone from my drawer. But you played sponsors to his vice. Eyes widened, they recognized it. Found this at Louise's. You ditched it last roundup. I pulled up their texts. Let Riley think Louise reneged. It'll toughen her up. Cody needs it more. Dad's face went beet red. You got no right snoopin' private chats. And you got no right embezzling my trust. His finger jabbed close. Listen.
Missy, no.
You listen. Calm hit like a cool breeze. Family don't do dirty. You picked Cody every round. Fine, but I'm picking me now. Mom crumpled. Real tears this time. If they wanted ties. Conditions. Admit the theft.
No excuses.
Joint counseling. Repay every cent, even piecemeal. Dad scoffed. You don't call shots. We're your parents. Parents protect all kids. I swung the door wide. Out. You ungrateful, Rick. Mom tugged him. Her eyes met mine. A flicker of regret. They shuffled past. Dad steaming. Mom's scent lingering like regret.
Door clicked shut.
Nos jacks. No sobs, just peace. I tidied my books.
Smoothed the bed.
Dove back into studies. An hour later, Sarah burst in.
Tosing her vetscrubbs.
What happened? You glow different. Folks dropped by. I booted and laid terms. Her jaw dropped.
Damn.
Riley, that's boss. Ice cream run. My treat. Later. Overmint chip on the porch. I unpacked the clash. Each word lightened me. Like shedding a heavy pack after a long trail. That night, I slept solid. 8 hours.
No nightmares.
First in years. More hurdles loomed, but I'd saddle up. The library's big windows let in Montana's crisp fall light, striping my sustainable farming text. Miracles sprouted like wildflowers. New boots without holes. Full belly boosting focus. Riley Montgomery? Professor Harlan stood by my corral, folder in hand. His wire rims glinted. Yes. Your take on ranch conservation yesterday?
Spot on.
Got a TA spot open, 15 hours. Flexible. Interested. Last term. I'd eyed such gigs enviously. Too wiped to chase.
Now?
Absolutely. Cut my diner hours. So I'm free. He slid a card. Send your resume. Chat soon. As he left, I fingered the card. Another one I could grab. Phone buzzed. Mom's 6th voicemail. Ignored. No gut punch. Her scripts. Worried about your attitude. Laced with guilt. I checked off tasks. Health clinic for student insurance.
You qualify, the advisor said.
Dad's threat to yank coverage? Toothless now. Kept weekend feed store shifts. Not for cash. But the horse smell. Customer chats. Mr. Jenkins bumped to $18 per hour. You're gold. Kid. Keep showing up. Text from Sarah. They rang me again. Block. Yup. Family circus in full swing. Aunt Clara called yesterday. Uncle Jed before, same misunderstanding spiel. Louise's lawyer letter set boundaries. Giving me footing. I pulled my printed family email. Fax only. No drama. Calls dwindled, win. Budget notebook showed black ink. Rent. Grub. Savings growing like a healthy herd. Body eased, no constant ache. Last AG test, A-. First since starting. Phone rang, not mom.
Cody.
Finger hovered. We hadn't talked since the barbecue. Curiosity won. Hello.
Riley.
It's me. Sober tone.
No squagget.
From Big Sky Recovery. 2 weeks in.
Rehab. Yup.
Step work, amends. But this ain't perfunctory. Gotta say it. Braced for spin. Knew about the money. All along. Watched you grind while I blew it on bets. Didn't stop. Raw truth hit hard.
No frills.
Don't want forgiveness, just for you to know I see it now. Not the golden boy, but broken Cody. Thanks for owning it, I said steady. Biggest miracle, standing firm, ground solid. 2 days on. I met Cody at the corner cafe in Bozeman. Aspens turned gold outside, framing the peaks like art. I arrived early, nerves jangling, scripting lines. Bell jingled, he looked changed, leaner, eyes clear. Plain flannel over jeans.
No flass.
Hands steady. Riley. Thanks for coming. I nodded to the seat. You look better. 80 days clean. He ordered green tea, surprise. Alone. He set a battered journal down. 4th step. Inventory. New dad diverted Louise's wires from the start. Hurt deeper from his lips. Started with a $300 horse race loss. Dad covered. Snowballed to 15 grand owed to shady folks. Hands gripped tight. When Louise started sending, Dad said, temporary loan. I didn't fight, scared of collectors. Of letting him down. Wind scattered leaves outside. Why confess? Truth sowed. And therapy says full disclosure for real fixes. Journal opened. Ledgers of dates. Sums. Wastes. Mom and Dad? They stonewall counselin', say my rehab's enough drama. They built this. You the star who could do no wrong. Me the mule who needed none. Needed parents, I whispered. We both did. Light shifted. Warming the table. Old country tune played soft. Reminded me of Louise's truck rides. They wanted me to rope you back. I tensed.
Togjengno.
What they did. Unforgivable.
Alliance blindsided me.
Throat tight. Can't say I forgive yet. But respect the work. He nodded. Fair. Silence settled, not easy. But honest. New bridge forming. Wobbly but there. You got Louise's grit. Smile tugged my lips. Best praise. We parted sans hugs. Just words. Different scars. Same blade. Watching him go. Straighter backed. I saw a fellow survivor. Steps home felt lighter. Peace would come in time. Spring hit the Montana prairies like a fresh start. Wildflowers dotting the green as I hiked the trail near campus. My backpack held lighter loads now. Ebooks over heavy tomes. Thanks to steady funds. Professor Harlan waved from the AG building. Riley, your soil sustainability report? Top notch. Want to bump your TA hours next term? 6 months back. I'd have mumbled yes.
Now?
I'd be thrilled. Fits my schedule perfect. She grinned. Your ranch heritage shines through. Thought about the Western AG Fellowship. The elite summer program I'd eyed, but never dared. App going in tomorrow. Pride warmed me as she nodded. Bag buzzed. Sarah's text. Yellowstone snaps posted. Still buzzin' from the trip. Grin spread. Our first getaway. Cheap cabin near the park. Hiking trails. Hot dogs over campfires. Nothing fancy. But the freedom? Priceless. Waking to birdsong. Not alarm dread.
Logging till site's hut.
I found a boulder overlook. Pulled my planner. No frantic math, just opportunities. Lectures. Lab deadlines. Store shifts for fun. Fresh hay scent still soothed.
Minus Desperation.
Phone rang. Grandma Louise. How's my star rancher? Russell said she was in her garden. Just got TA expansion offer. Knew you would. Seen the off-campus lease for you and Sarah? Sign this morning. Real stove and all. Futures planned. Not crises dodged. Flying in for your grad next year. Booked early. Motels fill quick. New traditions building. Healthy ones over tense gatherings. Dinner on me, to toast that honor roll. After. Envelope peeked from my pack. Mom's letter. Carried a week unread. No rush. Their words didn't rule me. Slipped it back, maybe later. As sun dipped, I headed to the co-op. Path same as last year's. But I walked transformed. Reflection in a puddle. Posture strong. Eyes bright. Light touched deep. I was more than the betrayal. I chose my becoming. The ranch air carried that earthy spring tang as I helped Grandma Louise mend fences. Wire cutters in hand, I felt the rhythm of the work ground me. You're getting handy as any hand, she teased. Passing pliers. We'd grown closer these months, weekly calls turning to strategy sessions with her lawyer on recovering funds. Trust docs are ironclad, she'd said. Embezzlement's no joke in Montana law. Could mean charges if we push. But we opted civil, lawsuit for repayment. No criminal yet. Humane. Giving Em a chance to make right. Cody's recovery text came steady. Day 120, group share went well. We'd built tentative ties. Coffee meets sharing stories. No pressure. He worked a stable job now. Chipping at debts legit. Parents? Radio silent mostly. Save guilt-laced cards. Therapy helped me process. Their favoritism stemmed from their own scars. Dad's gambling past. Mom's enabling family. Understanding bred pity. Not hate. Sarah and I moved into our place, a cozy duplex with mountain views. Unpacking, she blasted tunes. To new beginnings, we toasted with root beer. My fellowship app? Accepted. Summer on a sustainable ranch near Missoula. Dreams manifesting. One evening, phone rang. Dad. Hesitant. Riley. Can we talk? Voice cracked. Counselor's waitin', if you're open. Mom in background. We see now. The hurt we caused. No quick fix. But a start. I agreed to one session. Lesson light. Communication.